Hey guys, Calm Minority back again. Blah 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 blah. Introductions suck. Blah blah blah. This is a Sonic and Persona fan fiction. It's called New World Order and is written by Dr. Weird. Dr. Weird, you have the correct name. Let's start. This is an Archie the Sonic the Hedgehog in Persona 3 crossover. In this story, the main protagonist will be named his manga name, Minato Arisato. The story follows the storyline of Persona 3 FES after The Answer or Episode Aegis. This story takes place after comic 211, so it's pretty damn decent. It'll also be realistic to Archie Comics terminology as humanly as possible. To more or less make the date system make sense, I will not be using the Mobius calendar. The shadowy organization used in the story belongs to me. However, Persona 3 and all its elements are copyrighted by Shin Megami Tensei Studio. Sonic the Hedgehog is copyrighted Sega, Archie Comics, and Sonic Team, etc. Enjoy! Chapter 1. The deck twice shuffled. Mobius New Metropolis, August 3rd, 2337 at 23:24 hours. The overall scene of the circular wall, New Metropolis, had a serene look to it from the sky. Most lights were off, but the light of the gibbous moon reflected itself into the lake of rings, and lightly colored stone walkway and various buildings into soothing nightlight look. Many Mobians and anthropomorphic animals naturally integrated with human DNA were asleep, save for a few night-dwelling soldiers belonging to the Acorn royal family, guarding various areas like the hospital or miniature airport, and especially the New Metropolis prison, mostly because of the newly acquired prisoner, Regina Ferrum, also known in the world of Mobius as the Iron Queen, lay in the lone center cell down the underground hallway. There used to be several other prisoners, Mammoth Mongol and his crowd, but long after the long chain of cloak, dagger, and extenuated circumstances, they were able to escape and keep the freedom fighters, the lone force of childhood friends, especially the legendary Sonic the Hedgehog, from being in their reach of recapture. Now Regina lay in her cell, all alone. How did it ever come to this? All those years of suffering, torment, isolation, and discrimination, and for what? A incomplete kingdom? My king was a total nitwit, and as God knows, where thanks to that king of free people, Monkey Kong, the foreign ninja clans I worked so tirelessly to get under my thumb turned traitor on me. Thanks to that chimp, that damn blue rat. And to make matters worse, my beloved Snivelykins disappeared on me in an hour of dire need. And now I'm here, lay tattered and broken in an airtight prison of microscopic nanas I can no longer control with my techno magic, thanks to that cybernetic bitch Nicole, was it? At the mercy of the pompous and bloodthirsty, vengeance-hungry, animalistic freak show. Regina slowly sat up. It's only there were some way to get those damn fools who denied me my iron roll some way. As if on cue, by a random act of action, she began to hear a voice. Either that or she was beginning to hallucinate. It was a male singing voice, almost like a prayer. The song is Lala's Lullaby from D. Gray Man, originally the Mozart Dies Iria. I'm not reading that. The Iron Queen's eyes slowly wider. However, young voice was singing. Was truly talented. It was one of the best singing voices she ever heard. Slowly, a robed figure was descending down the door staircase. Slow, agonizingly rhythmic footsteps, one foot in front of the other. By now, his face had been revealed. He was a young man in his late teens, thin, about 6'1" or 2 tall. He wore a black Christian priest robe with dark purple neck cuff and rosary. However, there was no cross on it. He, however, had a rope tied around his waist with bunny ear, long loops, and string hanging from his right leg. His face and hair, however, was a sight to behold. His light brown hair was very short, almost butterscotch, a flat top of hair with long tassel of hair precariously draped 30 degrees to the right side of his hairline, ending in 3 split ends. He had a large eye patch on his right eye, and large dark scar from the corner of his left cheek, scratching up near his nose. Under his left eye, he slowly opened his left eye to reveal a dim, soulless shade of light brown, his facial expression showing a somber expression. He was carrying a small hand-sized ivory cross on the left, in his left hand to his chest. He was slowly walking to Regina's cell and knelt to her level. On one leg, placing his right hand on her nanite glass. When they caught her off guard, what then caught her off guard was that the young man that sighed heavily. Now that's out of the way. He trailed off and backed away from the glass, then pointed a finger to her cell. His left eye glowed an eerie blue. Slowly but surely, the glass started to break apart, much to Regina's surprise. Impossible. I've been working tirelessly to rip apart those confounded nanites, and he does it with a whisk of a finger? Who is this man? A scene did not go unnoticed. For some, the nanites completely disappeared. The sirens began to sound, alarming not only the guards in the vicinity, but the artificial intelligence life form running the show. Out of digitally nothing, the figure of 4 foot or so, Mobian lynx, with dark brown fur and black hair draping over the right side of her face on the angle appeared. She was garbed in purple toga-like cloth. Her feet had bare feet with black and brown fur that gave the illusion of toeless shoes, and had strands of hair and a few beaded braid. It was Nicole in her borrowed from intruder detected in New Metropolis prison. Oh no, the Iron Queen has somehow escaped. She never finished that statement without even realizing the young man who somehow stepped 30 feet from his position had stabbed Nicole where her stomach would be. She let out a loud gasp of shock. Her eyes shrunken to the size of peas. The adults are talking. Little girls like yourself should not be here at this hour, he said flatly, his tapestry of long hair slightly like it was possessed. Nicole, in all caps, let out another slight gasp before her hologram disintegrated into many pixels and vanished. The young man turned to the now interested Iron Queen, who was at a loss for words. Well, don't just sit there like a hapless fool. Come on, he said impatiently. You're getting out of here. Right, the Iron Queen stammered right before she noticed he threw something large at her, though she caught it and looked surprised. It was her staff. Where did you... Let's talk in more moving. That is, of course, if you want to be reincarcerated. She meekly nodded and ran up the stairs to the outside, only for the two to be encountered by another gruff-looking guard, some of which were Mobian beavers, or bulldogs of sorts, all of which were really tall for Mobians and really pissed. How the hell did she get out? One guard whispered. Nicole must have slipped up or something. Her powers didn't work on the nanites anymore, right? A second guard inquired. Well, however she escaped, mates. However she escaped, mates, came a lone Australian-like accent. The guards formed 2 small rows to allow a lone Mobian skunk in a high-tech combat suit appear. His outfit was a shade of forest and limestone green, looking like an inflated vest over a long-sleeved shirt and dark green pants. He had several pouches for items and what looked like a knife resting horizontally over his heart in his sheath. A crossbow was strapped to his back on his right wrist, locked and loaded. A black and white skunk tail wagged about, it being as long as the figure was tall. He wore a large, high-tech blue plexiglass visor over his eyes, which were blue, but couldn't be told anyway due to the visor's color. It was partially obscured by his stark white hair, which shot outward from his hairline and hooked backward toward his scalp. I'm just going to stop reading descriptions because they're long and have nothing to do with the story. It was the leader of the Republican Acorn Secret Service himself, the recently married Jeffrey St. John. She won't be getting away for long. So, Queenie, how'd you do it? The Iron Queen face hardened because the eye patch wearing priest boy blocked her with his left arm and Cross slightly gripped his hand. She had help, of course. Not that that actually matters. Jeffrey raised a shocked eyebrow. An Overlander? How'd you get in here? In Archie comics, humans are often referred to as Overlanders, especially the mutated four-fingered ones. The other guards were equally surprised. The young man merely smirked. Trade secrets, little man. Oh, and by the way, if you call me a lowly Overlander again, I'll have to kill you. His tone slowly became venomous. What are you? You're a human, the skunk gasped. Anyway, guards! This proprietor has broken a prisoner out of jail. Capture them! He signaled the group of 6 or so guards and ran into the fray. The Iron Queen gripped her staff tightly, but the young priest looked unfazed. He simply tossed the cross into the air, spun around, and caught it in his right hand. What shocked the Iron Queen was upon closer inspection, the cross was actually some kind of handgun. What? And he was pointing it at himself. Oh my fuck, don't freaking tell me. What the hell are you doing? She shrieked. The opposing group was all in confusion. Oh my god, really? Persona, he whispered. He fired a single shot in his right temple and reared back as what looked like glass shot out his left. But upon doing so, blue aura erupted from his feet. The light slowly formed into a vistas of a female humanoid angel with long bleached blonde hair, porcelain skin, and black angle wings. It wore... I said I wasn't reading the descriptions. Grigoro, Morning Star, the boy yelled. A large ball of light was created out of thin air above the soldiers in St. John, whom had all paled instantly. Oh shit! Jeffrey started before being engulfed by a mighty force of light. When the smoke cleared, all the soldiers were face down, battered and bruised. By the time Jeffrey struggled to look up, the Iron Queen and the mysterious priest boy had vanished. No. Damn it. Jeffrey stammered before finally losing his consciousness. 3 miles outside the Mobotropolis limits, the Iron Queen was huffing heavily due to the fact that she had run the most intensely pressured 3 miles of her life. Alright. Just... are you? She managed to say before collapsing on all fours and panting harder. The young boy, however, looked like he didn't even break a sweat. I guess I owe you that much. The young boy stood up, powerful about him as he stood up. My name is Lecry. I am a member of the organization. Excuse me? Regina asked. Confused, I was ordered to spring you from the swine's custody to offer you something worthwhile, shall we say? A proposition, you say? She asked, interested. You poses something we call the potential. We are looking for humans with such power to aid us in a noble cause. What is this potential you speak of? What noble cause? Lecry smiled weakly, a malevolent smirk. Come with me, Empress, and you will get the worldly vengeance you so desperately crave. You are, he began to smile stretched slightly, among friends. So is Sonic gonna get a Persona 2? The Iron Queen took Lecry's extended hand and walked off scene as New Metropolis slowly erupted into a state of chaos from the latter woman's escape. Blah blah blah. A group of high school students was at GeckoCon, that's what I'm telling you. A group of high school students sat at the benches on the roof of the high school, overlooking a large courtyard. From the far left stood a strawberry blonde, orange-haired girl with brown eyes and a pink sweatshirt and dark blue skirt. Why am I reading? I just said I wasn't reading the... God damn it, this is making me stupid. Next to it were a boy wearing a hat and pants. Another girl, sea blue hair and school jacket. Final girl with blonde hair and strange headphones, I guess. Come to think of it, they all had sad on side faces. Hey, Fuka, the first girl asked aloud, addressing the second girl with the blue-green hair. Yes, Yukari-chan? I'm reading like Fuka now. It's hard to believe it's been 1 month, hasn't it? 1 month since that day, she trailed off, sadness evident in her voice. Oh, come on, Yucatan. Cheer up, the boy jeered in a cheery voice. Moping around isn't going to bring him back. That's easy for you to say, Junpei. You were able to get over Chidori's death, but I'm not a strong-willed person to get over death. First, my father, she began slowly tearing up. Then him, I keep losing people. You'll get over it. Junpei sulked slightly. Yeah, Fuka. The third girl lowered their heads. Finally, the blonde girl stood up. Oh, the others are here. She trailed into a slightly robotic tone. She shouldn't be a robot because she's a human. Fuck. Sure enough, 4 figures emerged from behind her. The first was a tall girl in a white shirt. Other was... It was Mitsuru. Then Akihiko. Yeah, Akihiko. Finally, it was Ken. The person wasn't a persona at all. He was a small white and gray dog. Yep, it was, and it's Koromaru. Mitsu Senpai, Akihiko Senpai, Ken. Koro-chan. Fuka said happily, clapping her hands together tightly. Don't call me Senpai, you know me and Mitsu are already graduated. Akihiko huffed, closing his eyes in sign disapproval. Mitsu giggled slightly. Well, she began in a deep voice. How is it being seniors? And not too bad, actually. Get to the base. Basically, the alpha students once in a while, I guess. Junpei jeered, putting his arms behind his head and laughing slightly. Fuka and Yukari sighed and sweat dropped. Haha, I know the feeling, Akihiko admitted. It's also hard to believe that Ken-kun is starting middle school, and I heard you skipped the grade, Yukari said, smiling. Ken smiled widely. Too, actually. He began in a voice that sounded very intelligent for his age. All thanks to Mitsuru sounded Akihiko-san's study session last school year. Koromaru barked happily twice, then panted. Ken rubbed the dog's chin lightly with 2 fingers, who suddenly stuck his tongue out in disapproval. I'm not reading that. Well, Ken here did most of it. He got a lot of potential for a 12-year-old kid. Wish I had more time to study at that age, Akihiko sighed. You study more than boxing. You studying more than boxing? Mr. jeered uncharacteristically, laughing lightly. That'll be the day. Hey, Akihiko shot back. The whole group minus Koromaru and a blonde-haired girl with strange headphones. Aigis. Yukari was the first to notice. What's wrong, Aigis? Are you okay? Yeah, you haven't said a word since we arrived, Akihiko stated. Something wrong? No, it's Aigis began in a faintly robotic voice. I'm glad that we're able to get together and laugh about the good old days, as you put it, but Akihiko's expression became sympathetic. You're thinking about Minato, aren't you? The name Minato was a strike in her heartstring for Yukari, Aigis, and Mitsuru. The latter two looked almost hurt, a grimacing look on their faces. Even after all we've been through, both Nyx and the Abyss of Time, we still couldn't save him from that fate. But she got over it. That's the whole point of the fucking thing! Yukari said sadly, tears slowly forming in her eyes. It was clear she had feelings for this Minato. I've never felt so powerless, even after defeating Eberus. I failed in my mission to protect him, as a machine, as a member of Seas, as a friend. Aigis began to shake slightly and continued distraught. Minato-kun's focus. Everybody said his name. The end. The sad moment of remembrance continued, but was interrupted by what seemed to be a small twist of fate. Fuka's head shot up and gasped. What's wrong, Yamagishi? Mitsuo asked. I sensed, no, it can't be. Couldn't be what? Akihiko pondered before deepening his stance and raising his fist. You mean a shadow here? But that's impossible. The dark eye was destroyed. The shadows can no longer exist in this world. Mitsuo objected, flailing her left arm once. Well, it's not exactly a shadow's presence. It's something different, Fuka trailed. How different? Junpei's worded carefully, adjusting his hat and arching his eyebrow. It doesn't feel malevolent. I can say that much, Fuka trailed off. Did everyone bring their evokers by any chance? Mitsuo asked, pulling a small, strange silver handgun out of her shirt. Don't get any bright ideas, you fool. Mitsuo will execute you. Fuck you. You know me, Akihiko smirked as he raised his. Same here, replied Yukari. I'll never leave the door without it, Ken admitted. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't have. Junpei said, you know our story, Aigis replied. Aigis doesn't need an invoker though, because she's the fucking shadow robot. It's here, Fuka tensed. Everyone went tense and their eyes, the entire roof edges, constantly seeking out the shadow. Ken gasped, over here, by the air vent. Everyone turned instantly and sunk into the defensive stand. They may have not been armed, especially possibly Aigis' finger bullets and Akihiko his fist, but that didn't stop their instinct by kicking in. Hidden behind one side of the air vent hid a small, all-white shadow. Actually, upon closer inspection, it looked like some kind of python-sized fairy or pixie. It was roughly the size of a baby. It had two backward horn-like appendages shaped in its head. I'm not reading that. Stop reading the fucking descriptions, me! Despite its cute and pathetic appearance, the group formerly known as Sheets didn't leave this creature's existence up to chance. So they began to beat up. Alarmed, the shadow leapt into its position. It was about 20 feet and dodged Akihiko's punches. Because it was not the Dark Earth, they couldn't use any of their personas as they pleased, a double-edged sword in itself. Since the evokers were useless in the situation, Seas had resorted to trying to charge the defenseless shadow. For the next 90 seconds, it ran about, alarmed and scared, as different members tried to double-team it, only for them to crash into each other in a comical fashion. Fuming, the fallen Yukari shot up angrily. That's it. This thing is dead. If the shadow could scream, it would. Instead, it gave a strange gargle shriek and darted for the exit door. Don't let it escape. If anyone sees that shadow, it could be catastrophic, Mitsui yelled as she got on all fours and jumped off her heels and ran as if she were a trained assassin. As the shadow closed in on the door, the 8 members of Seas, even Fuka, well, of course Fuka, never mind, who had stood far from reaching his trace in the path so herself could cut it off, attempted to dump power the shadow, but it has successfully closed the door behind it. The group was sandwiched in the closed door by each other. Hadn't even urged the situation. Someone might have even laughed. Girl, oh no you don't. Oh no you don't, Yukari yelled as she hastily opened the door and rushed in. It was the biggest mistake of the day. Yukari suddenly saw herself falling over the edge of the doorway into a distorted rainbow-colored downward tunnel with no way to stop herself. Huh? Junpei gasped. Yukaton, he yelled as he dove inside after her. However, by doing so, he caused the whole dump pile to tumble into the distorted tunnel with him. Junpei, Akihiko screamed. The 8 members screamed, some more than others. They fell in order of Yukari, Junpei, Akihiko, Mitsu, Aigis, Fuka, Ken, then Kumaru. Ken was spinning like a tire. Kumaru was failing his legs. Junpei was dead, blah blah. Not reading that. Yukari's scream was by far the loudest. Her eyes were clamped shut as she thought this would be the end. Just great. Good going, Yukari. You got everyone in another stupid jam. And just when I thought things were finally going to be normal around here, I'm going to die, aren't I? She slowly opened her eyes, and they shrunk considerably as descending along them with a group about 10 feet, was speeding in a rocket of light, being on eye level with Yukari. She squinted as if it closed and inspected it, and realized there was something inside it. No, someone, she gasped at the realization, only to behold it was shrinking and taking form. Slowly but surely, it formed a familiar shape, and Yukari's eyes shrunk at the side. Could it be? But now all the sea members saw the light near Yukari, and watched it slowly shrink into human form. Mitsuru came to the second realization. She never got to finish the sentence as the group was enveloped in white light shooting from the upward flash. Now we're going back to the bad guys. A black and white Mobian cat in a similar suit as Jeffrey St. John sat in the lobby of the high-tech hospital, twiddling her thumbs. Jeffrey, please be okay. She snapped out of her thoughts as the glass door of the lobby slid open, causing the cat to turn her head. In came two figures, Sonic and Tails. There. No, I'm not. Oh, no, not Tails. Princess Sally. I'm sorry. Sonic, Princess Sally. I'm so glad you made it, the cat said, sounding comforted. It's fine, Hershey. Really? Sally remarked, a weak smile on her face. Regarding the situation, how's your husband? Yeah, how is old Stinky Butt? Sonic joked. Sally stomped on his foot. Sonic, ow, not the merchandise, Sonic yelped as he hopped on one foot, holding his other foot in pain. Sally sided with her. She stifled a slight giggle, but she gave a slight frown. He's with Dr. Quack at the moment, Dr. Quack. I'm not too worried, but... Both Sonic and Sally inquired, looking at each other, blushing slightly and looking away for a split second. It's his story that worries me. How about he and the 6 guards were hurt in the first place? Hershey trailed, grabbing her left arm and looking at the left. So how, what'd he say? Sonic asked, slightly impatient and tapping his injured foot. He said that when he was attacked, there was a flash of light, bright light, that somehow beat them up. But the person who did it. Yes, Sonic asked, leaning in. Sally did the same thing. He was definitely a human. A young boy, came Hershey. The suited cat voice was full of conviction. A human kid? Sonic yelled, taken aback. Are you certain? Sally asked assertantly. Jeffrey said the guards, and it was, I think, Nicole, in all caps, witnessed him breaking the Iron Queen out of jail. Nicole! Sally asked out loud. Suddenly, digital cold started forming next to her, and formed the same brown furred links from the previous night, her green eyes painted with sorrow. Hello, Sally. Yes, it's true. After coming back online from being attacked, he actually broke the nanite glass that kept her. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back up, Sonic shouted, pushing his hand right back and forth 4 times, the last time with most emphasis. You mean to tell me that the nanite glass, the very same nanite glass that kept Mammoth Mogul of all people under wraps, was broken by a kid? His voice was full of skepticism. The footage was never recorded for some reason, but I witnessed him with the Iron Queen out of her cell. That was until he was attacked by a borrowed form and froze me. She admitted weakly, imitating what Hershey had done a while ago. Oh man, Sonic whined as he started rubbing his temple with his 2 fingers each. And just when me old monkey fuzz finally started beating her. Oh man, he's gonna kill me. I can see it now. My ass is on a silver platter and my head mounted on the fireplace mantle. I'm so dead, he completed, exasperated, his arms expressing his every word. Sonic, Ken is at the least of our worries. What about Eggman? We don't know where the hell he and silently disappeared to after the Iron Dominion was finished off. If that Lardo finds out somebody broke out of our prison under our nose, we'll be the laughingstock. Eggman will never let us live it down, ever, Sally exclaimed. She started clutching her head and paced back and forth. I already told my parents, my brother, my wife, and the Council of Acorn. They're the only ones who know of this at the moment, and already we're in a state of panic. This even scared Howman, Sonic, and I'm already concerned about how to break the news to our people, much less the entire world. You know, Sally, it's not that bad, Sonic pleaded, raising an arm and trying to calm her down. Not that bad? Think about it, Sonic. Station Square, the 4 ninja clans, gun, our enemies, not to mention our other freedom fighter sects. Catastrophe is too weak of a word for the situation. We are so dead, she screamed, pacing faster. Please, could you not yell in the hospital, Princess? Came in a middle-aged voice. The Dream Mobians turned to hall to see a yellow Mobian duck. I don't know who that is. Dr. Quack! Oh, okay, thank you, Sally. Said in slight excitement. I'm sorry, it's just a real stress thing talking. Quite alright, my dear, he said, smiling. He then turned to Hershey. Jeffrey's going to be alright. He just needs some bed rest and daily dose of aspirin. Hershey sighed in relief. Thank goodness. Dr. Quack nodded before turning to Sally and Sonic. Is Tails up? No, actually, he slept in, Sonic admitted. Well, wake him and his dad up. I need to get in contact with his uncle Merlin. Tails has an uncle? This damage is from a magic I've never seen before. I was hoping to see if he could identify it so we could give the injured soldiers proper treatment. I don't want to risk anything here. I'll send him for him shortly, Doctor. I just have to. She was interrupted by Nicole! Sudden gasp and citywide alarm going off. This alarm began to wake up the animal citizens. Nicole, what's wrong? Sally darted. I sense a special distortion occurring. It's right outside the city. What? Sally yelled. Sonic immediately ran outside, followed by Sally, Hershey, and finally Dr. Quack. They all saw what awoken citizens roaming the streets had seen. A small congregation of black cows in a distorted swirling began cracking up energy, darkening the hue of slightly overcast sky. There's no ordinary thundercloud. Nicole, contact the remainder of the Freedom Fighters and Chaotix and tell them to meet me outside the town city walls. Then I want you to analyze the cloud. Something tells me it's not good. Right, Nicole nodded. It's been over 30 minutes already? Fuck. Sonic the Hedgehog stood his ground outside the entrance of the Doom City. Arms crossed, with him stood various Mobians, blah 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 blah, all his friends. To his left, blah 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 blah, all his friends again. So what did Sally and Nicole say about this Clyde thing? Sonic came the fox concerned. I don't know, Tails, Sonic admitted. Knuckles and Julie Sue were the last two to see her. Maybe they know. Sorry, Blue, the girl in Echidna Julie Sue sighed. Not a thing. Well, by the looks of it, it appears to be a space-time continuum rupture. What? Sonic's eye ridge rose. And you know that how? Hey, I'm smarter than I look, Sonic. At least I pay attention, Knuckles barked calmly. That's enough, Knuckles, chided the chameleon SBO. This is serious. That is right, the coyote Antoine replied in a thick French accent. We do not know if it is an enemy, so we must be on our guard, he said, fiddling with a sword in his sheath. So right, Sugar Twan, the rabbit bunny, cooed her husband. I didn't know they were married. Hey, Saffron, the excited boy jeered. Hey, Charmy, the girl bee replied. What's a space-kind continuum? Bullshit, that's what I said calm. Suddenly a loud rupture noise was heard. Looking up, the group of Mobians realized that the dark cloud was expanding and small traces of yellow-white began to seep out. Something's coming, the pig, Amy said, gripping her hammer. Everybody ready, Sally yelled from the gate as they ran outside. Everyone began 8 sharp, violent, tormental beams shot out. I'm guessing that's where the Personic team came out, right? Here we go, guys. Let's do it, Sonic jeered and ran ahead, followed by Bunny, who flew using rocket power to apparently better in their shoes. Everybody ran to the thing. Hey, what's that? Tails yelled as the ninth flash of light descended on the direction, far slower than he first thought. And it was slow motion compared to the others. Let's go after the guy. You guys deal with the others, Sonic yelled as he veered into the direction and slowly descended the light, leaving the remainder of the Freedom Fighters going after the other ones. Upon getting there, the group of Mobians saw a group of comprised of 6 human teenagers, 4 female, 2 male. Shoulder male, so the C's, okay. Tails dove in next to the boy with light brown hair, picking up a handgun, slowly gripped into his hand and studied, probably from his pupil's fear of bullet protections. The young fox read aloud the inscriptions on the gun, C's. As the others, Sally included, skidded across the crater. Tails approached. I wonder what it is. What is it, Tails? Sally inquired. Tails showed Sally the handgun, which in turn caused most of the Mobians to gasp. Overlanders with guns? Knuckles asked edgily. No, look, SBO said as he walked over and picked up the silver-haired boy's black covered glove. 5 fingers, they're humans. So they're not overlanders? Charmy inquired. With these handguns, Sally said as she toyed with one in her hand, they're not loaded. There are no ammunition in them. Really, Julie? See, accent, she expected the gun. You're right. There's not even a compartment for bullets. Mon Dieu, Antoine gasped. You mean that these children have guns, but they're totally armless? Maybe we'll ask them when they wake up, Barney surmised in a thick southern accent. Finally, one of the children stirred. It was the strawberry blonde. It was Yukari. When she finally focused, she saw about 15 or so animal creatures in different colors, and she freaked out. Sally, in an attempt to calm her down, approached her, hand in her hand. Miss, please calm down. What just happened here? Holy crap, they talk, she gawped. Wait until Junpei sees that. Wait a minute. Then she looked around. Junpei, she squeaked, looking at the boy with a baseball cap. Worried, she looked at the girl with long hair and the boy with short silver hair. Monsieur Senpai, Akihiko Senpai. Getting more and more worried, she looked for everybody else. They're all unconscious, Espio said, as carefully turned around the silver-haired boy's face like he and Vector did the others. They're all sleeping. Sigh, oh my god, what a relief. I'm Princess Sally, Sally Acorn. Yukari Takaba, Yukari smiled. So, Miss Yukari, how did you end up out here, if I may ask? We'll have to forgive Vector. He's a moron, SBO said slightly, with a twist of music. That's uncalled for, SBO, Vector barked. Yukari giggled. Well, it was after school and we kind of fell into a hole. It's him, she yelled as shotgun. She climbed into the crane and toward the light. To her, the light slowly died around the figure revealing a young boy her age in a black school outfit. So Minato. Tears began forming in Yukari's eyes as she ran. It's him, it's really him. Mighty, Ray, Bunny, and all the other animals came back. Yukari was running full speed, tears flowing from her eyes. Minato! Next time, 2 fools into this world. Chapter 1 is over. The end. Thank fucking God.